Welcome to the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Pluff. Each week, we will cover various topics that dads struggle with in their fitness journey. I'll give you actionable steps that you can apply right away, not only to take back control of your own health, but so you're able to be a better example for your kids too. So one of the things I've been talking about a lot lately on my social media as well as with my clients is creating your fit life, or what does your fit life look like to you? Now, being fit is going to be something that is different for everybody, right? Obviously, like having a six pack is nice. Aesthetics are a reason to work out, and it's one of the reasons I work out personally, right? I don't think that's wrong to say, and that can be hard for a lot of people because it seems shallow. It seems shallow, right? To only look kind of the vanity metrics there, big biceps, chiseled abs. But if that's something that's going to motivate you to take care of yourself, then I think that's important to kind of lean into. But I started having back pain when I was 16 years old, right? So that's almost half my life now. I've had to deal with this, and kind of found some other things with my hip mobility, things like that have helped. Finding some answers here, talking to orthopedic doctors and things like that, potentially, and issues with my anatomy and things like that. But my fit life, to me, like part of my fit life is being able to sit on the couch with my kids without my back hurting. And so there's certain things I need to do in order to make sure that happens, right? Getting in super great physical shape isn't necessarily going to help that. Is it going to hurt it? No. But that's what being fit means to me, is being able to play with my kids, being able to do stuff with my kids without being in pain. Now, the other things, working out, increasing my bench press, my squat, deadlift, things like that. That's important to me, but it's not as important to me as some of those other things. Now, maybe you're in a different season of your life. Your kids are a little older. They're in high school. They're out of the house. They're not doing the same thing. They're not with you consistently. My kids are young. I got 3 kids, all very young. And so, to me, being fit is something completely different, right? Like I like to do things like obstacle course races. I play softball, old man. I say old man softball. During the spring and the summer and the fall, and that's part of the I like to be able to do that. My kids get to come watch me play. They like seeing me play, so that's fun for me. So that's one of the things I focus on in my workouts. But maybe you play like indoor soccer, you're on a bowling league, you still have to be fit for that. It's a different kind of fit, right? If you're competing in like Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something like that, or depending on what you're doing, if you have a very labor intensive job, or even just sitting at a desk, that all requires you to be fit. Now, the definition of being fit may be a little bit different, right? But it all requires you to be fit. And so this kind of overarching theme here, what does it mean? What does your fit life look like? You get to decide, right? You get to decide what your fit life looks like. You get to decide what being fit means to you, right? If being fit means, being able to run an 8-minute mile, do 50 push-ups consistently, and then, play a game of tennis with your wife, that's awesome. That's what fit means to you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep working towards that. If it means going to the gym 3 times a week, if it means being able to do a 5K without walking, it really doesn't matter. It does not matter, right? But you get to decide. You don't, looking at Instagram is going to, kind of, you're going to be circling the drain real quick. You're going to look at other people who are, a couple steps further along. Maybe you look at somebody and you're comparing yourself to, but they've been in the game for 20 years, right? They've been doing this for 20 years. They don't have young kids. They don't have, a 40-hour week job, and so you're comparing yourself to somebody you have no idea what their situation's like. And so that's why, I encourage you, create your fit life. And as soon as I started doing that, I stopped caring. I used to jump from program to program because I was like, oh, this guy's got some good stuff to say. I started following him, and then I see somebody else like, well, that's good too. And I kind of like that. So I followed this program. You know what? I made progress very slowly. very slowly, if at all, because I wasn't consistent. I wasn't actually doing what I wanted to. And why would I keep making progress doing something that I didn't even enjoy, right? Why would I continue to try and build something up that I do not care about? And so you have to find something that is important to you. I joke around with my clients all the time that I'm pretty sure one of these days I'm gonna just market towards dads who are taking their families to Disney World, because almost every single one of my clients, I say every single one, but I've had like five or 10 clients that have gone to Disney World while I've worked with them, and like that's to me, it's just kind of funny because the first couple times we had ever met, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Disney World." I'm like, "Man, like not a single one of you has ever invited me," but that's cool, whatever. But if that's gonna motivate you, if looking good with your shirt off on the beach is gonna motivate you to create your fit life, then do that, because you're gonna stay motivated. You're gonna stay consistent. People think they lack motivation, but what they really lack is actually caring what they're working towards, right? If you have a deep desire to do something, if you have a purpose, if you have something that you're willing to get up early for every single day, you're never going to lack motivation. People lack motivation because they work towards things that they don't care about. And so decide what your fit life looks like. Start working towards creating that, and then block out the noise. Stop worrying about what other people are doing and create your own fit life. That concludes this episode of the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. Thank you for those of you who took time out of your busy schedules to listen. If you have any questions or comments or an idea for a topic for a future episode, please feel free to reach out, and I'd love to hear from you.